Today I'm getting the platinum for Resident Evil 3 and deciding whether this game deserves all the hate. Let's jump in. Resident Evil 3 throws us straight into chaos. Raccoon City already done for, zombies everywhere, fires in the street, and Jill Valentine just trying to survive long enough to escape. After a brutal encounter with Nemesis who makes it very clear he's hunting STARS members, Jill fights her way through collapsing buildings, burning alleyways, and hordes of the undead. Just when things couldn't get any worse, Nemesis comes back even stronger until we are saved by our second protagonist, Carlos.
Hey! Fuckface! Hey, easy, lady. I got you.
Who are you? What are you doing?
Name's Carlos, and I'm saving you. Come on, let's get you someplace safe.
Eventually she reaches the underground rail system, hoping it's her way out of Raccoon City, but instead of safety, Jill runs into something unexpected. Umbrella soldiers. That's where we finally meet Carlos and his squad, sent in to help evacuate civilians. After that, I spent some time exploring the city, grabbing supplies and getting a better feel for the area. Along the way I unlocked 2 trophies, Basic Chemistry and Get Organised. I also managed to find 2 emeralds for the machine back in the subway. As for gear, I picked up some key items, the bolt cutters, shotgun and the lockpick, which opened a lot more of the map and made exploration way easier. With the lockpick I went back through areas I'd already explored and finally opened some of those locked doors I couldn't access before. That led me to finding my first Charlie doll, unlocking Hello Charlie. After that, our main objective became clear: restore power to the subway and get the train running. To do that, I had to turn on 4 generators, all whilst dealing with these creepy spider parasites jumping out at every worst possible moment. Somehow, in the middle of all that chaos, I accidentally picked up the trophy 2 for 1. After getting the generators online, I headed back to the subway power station, and of course, Nemesis wasn't done with me yet. He chased me through the area, forcing me to keep moving. Once I managed to shake him off, I rerouted the train, finally getting things lined up for our escape. While on my way back to the subway station, I found the blue gem, the final piece needed to complete the puzzle down there. That unlocked 2 more trophies, Gunsmith for upgrading my weapon, and Power Stones for completing the gem puzzle. Back at the subway station, Jill deliberately lures Nemesis away to buy some time. That plan actually works, and it earns the Nemesis Down trophy. From there, I moved on to exploring the sewers, which introduces a brand new enemy type, those disgusting toad zombies that absolutely do not mess around. Thankfully, I picked up a grenade launcher which made dealing with them a lot easier. Not long after, Nemesis returns, chasing Jill up a burning building. Honestly though, this whole chase felt a little underwhelming. It didn't really feel like you could die, just a whole lot of running forward. This leads straight into the first proper boss fight with Nemesis, and again, it was kinda disappointing. The fight basically boils down to running in circles and shooting the tank on his back until it pops. But once it's over, you're rewarded with the Nemesis Down trophy. Emphasis on the question mark. After all that, I made my way towards the subway, stopping off at the gun store along the way. This is where we meet Kendo, who you might recognise from Resident Evil 2. It's a cool reminder that this game actually takes place before Resident Evil 2, giving a bit more weight to that moment. Not long after, Nemesis shows up again, this time wielding a rocket launcher. Once again though, it didn't really feel like there were any stakes. When the laser turns red, you could just dodge and keep moving. That said, it was pretty cool seeing the variety of weapons Nemesis pulls out. At least he's trying to keep things more interesting. After regrouping, Jill and Carlos split ways, setting up what is to come next. Then everything goes sideways. The train crashes, throwing any plans of a clean escape out the window. Still, we're rewarded with the trophy, Escape the City. After that, we return to the RPD, but this time we're playing as Carlos. We finally get to see how Marvin was bitten, which hits a bit harder knowing what happens to him later on. I took down Zombie Brad, which unlocked the trophy. Thanks to my memory of Resident Evil 2, I knew exactly what the combination to the 3rd floor locker was. Then yeah, I absolutely shit myself when a licker showed up, immediately paused the game and had to mentally recover for a second. After clearing the area and finishing in the station, I unlocked the trophy, Carlos RPD. The second boss fight with Nemesis comes up not long after, and honestly, underwhelming again. Most of the fight just involved waiting for him to run along the walls and step into one of my proximity mines. Once he's dealt with, I unlock the I don't feel so good trophy, fitting because Jill ends up infected right after. Carlos rushes her to the hospital and we switch back to exploring as him. While searching the hospital, we run into another new enemy type, these weird predator looking creatures. We continue searching and manage to find a vaccine sample, but unfortunately Dr. Bard is already dead by the time we get there. Carlos gets the vaccine to Jill and administers it, saving her life just in time. That leads to a tense section where you have to defend Jill while she recovers, holding off waves of zombies, which unlocks the I Need a Hero trophy. During all this, we also learn Raccoon City is going to be nuked. Once Jill is back on her feet again, I spent some time properly exploring the hospital. During that, I picked up the Lightning Hawk pistol, which is an absolute powerhouse and immediately became one of my favourite weapons. This also unlocked the Kendo's Army trophy. After that, Jill heads underground in search of Carlos, pushing deeper into the facility and searching for whatever Umbrella has been hiding down there. While pushing deeper underground, things take a turn when Tyrell is killed, cutting the team down even further, and just in case there was any doubt, Nemesis is still alive. He shows up once again, forcing yet another chase encounter and proving he's not done with Jill yet. After surviving that section, I unlocked the Pursuer trophy, a fitting name considering Nemesis just refuses to stay down. Next up, I explored the new lab in search of a vaccine. While digging through the files, we learned that this is a separate lab from the one in Resident Evil 2, and it's where Umbrella was developing the T-virus, specifically experimenting in ways to externally control bioweapons like Nemesis, which explains a lot. Not long after, Nemesis shows up again, because of course he does, leading to yet another chase through the lab, and once again the solution is simple: blow him up. At this point, it's less is Nemesis dead, and how many more explosions does this guy have left? Yet again, the fight with Nemesis was pretty underwhelming. All you had to do was dodge until he climbed on one of those electrical tanks, then shoot it to shock him. Once you realise that, the whole fight becomes extremely easy. There's not much strategy beyond repeating that loop until it's over. Still, taking him down unlocks the Nemesis Down trophy. Straight after, we're thrown into the final boss fight with Nemesis, but this time it barely feels like a boss fight at all. You're handed a weapon that literally melts anything within its path, and Nemesis doesn't stand a chance. That finally unlocks the trophy, Nemesis Down, no question marks this time.
Come on! Next time, take the fucking hit!
After that, we confront Nikolai, who destroys the vaccine. Jill does not hesitate, she shoots him, putting an end to Umbrella's loose end. With no time left, Jill and Carlos hop in a helicopter and escape, and as they fly away, we see it. The nuke finally hits Raccoon City, wiping out everything beneath them. That's the end of Raccoon City and the end of Resident Evil 3. Instead of doing multiple playthroughs like the guide suggests, I once again decided to be a complete coward and bought the infinite rocket launcher. So I figured, why not kill 3 birds with 1 stone? I ran through Inferno, Nightmare, Hardened, all in one playthrough, and just like Resident Evil 2, the rocket launcher absolutely obliterated everything in its path. Enemies, bosses, Nemesis, nothing stood a chance. While doing that, I also cleaned up any missed Charlie dolls, which unlocked the trophy Goodbye Charlie. I also knew there was a trophy for collecting all 3 fuses within 5 minutes, so I grabbed that on this run too. However, on this run, the final fight against Nemesis was honestly brutal, especially with the no healing restriction. I tried legit for a while, but eventually had to swallow my pride and look up a YouTube guide, and I'm actually glad I did because I learnt this really cool trick. Once you knock off his first set of spores, you wait by the power core until Nemesis makes this specific sound cue. The moment he does, you activate the core, and as soon as it turns blue, you sprint to the back of the arena. If you do this right, Nemesis animation locks himself into a grab, which lets you shoot the rest of his spores for free. You just repeat this process 3 times and the fight becomes way more manageable. Completing this got me the trophies for Inferno, Hardcore, Nightmare and Sprinter for doing the story in under 2 hours, but for some reason they didn't pop on my screen, so here's a picture of them for my trophy list. And to top it all off, I managed to get the no healing trophy as well, mainly because when everything dies in one hit, you don't really need any health items. I then took the time to get the rest of the files, earning the Bookworm trophy, as well as my last 2 locks for Master of Unlocking. The next stage was easily the most stressful one yet, completing the game on Inferno difficulty whilst getting an S rank, and using no more than 5 saves. This wasn't about exploration anymore, this was full on speedrun mode. Every decision mattered, when to save, when to push through, and when to just accept the risk and keep moving. Inferno enemies hit hard, Nemesis is even more aggressive, and one bad mistake can cost you the entire run, especially when you're constantly thinking, do I really need to burn one of my saves here? With only 5 total saves, there's zero room for comfort or safety nets. So the goal was simple: move fast, skip anything unnecessary, and rely on muscle memory more than supplies. It's tense, exhausting, and honestly one of the most punishing challenges in the game, but also one of the most satisfying once you start seeing the run come together. I finished the run with a time of 1 hour and 4 minutes and got both the trophies. My final playthrough ended up being the simplest one of the entire game. The only goal was to unlock the trophy for not using the item box for the entire run. After Inferno, S ranks, and 5 save stress, this honestly felt like a relief. With everything already unlocked, a solid route in mind, it was just a case of managing inventory on the fly, making smart pickups, and never touching the box, not even once. No panic, no pressure, just clean execution. A nice, calm way to wrap up this platinum journey. So, final thoughts on Resident Evil 3. I honestly don't think this game deserves as much hate as it gets. That said, I also never played the original, so I can't comment on what was changed or cut. I'm judging purely on this experience alone. My biggest letdown by far was the boss fights. Nemesis starts off genuinely terrifying in downtown Raccoon City. He's relentless, unpredictable, and actually puts pressure on you. But once he mutates into that rabid dog form, he becomes way less scary. From that point on, most of his fights felt more mechanical than threatening. Another issue I had was the audio. A lot of it felt muffled throughout the game, which took away from the atmosphere, especially in a series which sound design does a lot of the heavy lifting. And while most of the game looks great, some of the camera angles during the boss fights were just rough. There were moments where the camera was fighting me more than the boss was. That all said, I still had a great time overall. The pacing is solid, the environments are great, and as a modern Resident Evil experience, it's fun, just a bit uneven. So yeah, not perfect, definitely flawed, but in my opinion, Resident Evil 3 isn't the disaster it's often made out to be.